Welcome to Us versus Movies. I'm your host, Dustin. Today, joined by my lovely co-host, Kevin.
Hi, lovely. Thanks.
Lovely, yeah. You're just the eye candy. We don't we don't want your opinion. Just look good for the audio.
Just shake it.
Whoa, hey. We still respect you. We're not asking you to shake it. We're just gonna stare at you and hope you shake it.
Well, if you respected me for my eye candiness, you would tell me to shake it, because then I would be insulted if you didn't, and then really wonder why I'm here. It's not for my thought-provoking opinions about 1987's film Over the Top starring Sly Stallone, is it?
No, it is for that. In fact, just take back everything else I said. You're ugly, you're a pig, and we just want your personality.
That took a dark turn.
Hey, I mean, last time you started off with, I don't know, me writing a suicide note or something, or I don't. Maybe that was 2 episodes ago now, but...
Was it?
Yeah, I'm just
Well, we got to know why you did it. What was in your head? Why'd you do those things?
You were just yelling, boo,
Selfish.
This guy's still alive, and shit like that. It was... Anyway, we are here to discuss Over the Top, 1987, Sylvester Stallone, who was one of the writers. I don't know why he's not credited with writing it.
It was because you did the screenplay with Sterling Syphilis. I can't say that last name.
Syphilis. That's all we heard. That's all we need to know.
Excellent.
Runtime of an hour and 33 minutes. Rated PG.
I will say a quick 133, if you don't mind me throw that in there.
Yeah, that's fine. I can buy it.
Pacing wise, very good. Substance wise, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So some notable figures, obviously Sylvester Stallone. If I can pick something, you know what he's in. Other ones though, Robert Lagoglia, probably saying that as best as I can. Famously known as playing rich old bastard for most of his career. Like he's just been an old man.
He brings that suit from home.
Yeah. He's like, this is real. This was my real house that you filmed this in. I'm just a real old bastard.
Forever. You want to play a one percenter? That's a real bitter pill.
He's like, it's a bit of a stretch, but okay.
Oh, is it? Is he miscasted? What do we do?
He's like, no, I'm gonna just beat you to death with this stack of money now. But he's been big, Scarface, just like. The minute you see his face, you're just like, oh, yeah, the old rich guy that hates everyone.
Listen, if you need an old, crusty, fat cat, white bastard, it's this guy. He shows up, and he's like, hey, I'm here to hate on something. And they're like, fuck, how about our protagonist? He's like, that'd do. What's the story? Doesn't matter.
That'll do. He has passed, so you cannot cast him anymore. But, you know, he's been playing old codger since forever.
Not codger, crusty bastard.
Whatever. And then another notable, Daniel Mendenhall, who you might know as the voice of Daniel on Transformers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, David Mendenhall. I got excited for the Daniel part.
I have a bit of an aneurysm, but
a little. He's also on Punky Brewsters and shit.
I remember Punky Brewster. A lot of this is a lot of flashback nostalgia for myself. Yeah, he's in the Transformers the movie.
No, and the show.
The movie though had all the notable quotables, man. I couldn't tell you one quote this asshole had from a TV show, the Transformers, but man, that movie, holy shit! Don't get me cranked on that. I'll just start reciting that fucking thing word for word. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah, no, please don't. And then probably the last one is one Terry Funk.
I saw Terry Funk. I was like, dude, you're stacked in this. You're huge. Your shoulders go. You filled the whole fucking room. Funkster, man. Death match fucking god. Professional wrestler.
Well, yeah, I figured I'd just let you just do that one and not embarrass myself with not saying all that as articulately or something. So... Kevin, I'm going to let you just kind of maybe lead the way on this one because you have more of the nostalgia. I will say before we just dive deep into it, this is a movie Kevin unknowingly brings up here and there. Not a lot. I'm not going to blast and be all the fucking time. It's just like, you know, like a year will go by and all of a sudden Kevin will be like, over the top. And you're just like, that's It's unusual that you brought that up out of the blue. I mean, it's not that unusual, but so I'm gonna just let him drive this ship because I had never seen it before last night. So
poor option. How about I just take control of this big rig and run it down the road for a bit, for a spell? Yeah, over the top. I saw this when I was a kid, and as anyone knows, when you're a kid, it only took once, bro. It took once. It took once to get the fever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand that, but you didn't watch it like multiple times.
You didn't have to. It's called etched. It was etched. I just fucking watched it. I recorded every single thing that happened. Watching it again for the first time after a plus 25 years or something, I'm like, wow, when you're a child, you're insanely stupid and your opinions are like the worst. So when you like something, this is every child. And if you've ever been a child, you're an idiot. So I'm watching it and I'm like, well, here's what I would have done. Is the first thing that pops in my brain.
I did not see you taking this point of view on it. I thought you loved it. So
no, well, I do and I don't. Like modern day Kevin thinks, you know what? Pretty terrible movie. About 1 trillion and different things I could have done to make this super awesome, and I might pitch that at the end. But looking back on the time, I'm always a sucker for any dad-son bonding things. That's a layer of my onion that just got peeled back. So if you do that well,
that's your guilty pleasure.
It's not even a guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty about it. It's just what it is. It's something that defines me. If you have a good father-son combo thing where they're just living life, growing, nurturing, all this good stuff, I love it. I'll watch it 1,000 times. But it's got to be good. Here, it's a little rough, but it still kind of delivers on some things. But that turns into the forefront. It's very Lifetime movie in that aspect. And then there's just kind of some arm wrestling we do here and there, which is kind of the biggest lost leader of this story, where you could have capitalized and had some really super badass stuff. I saw a quote from Stallone. He was like, yeah, after we were done with the movie, it was kind of like an hour, 30-minute music video. And I was like, yeah, it fucking is. It's just, how many music beds can you put on here?
Jesus,
Listen, there's 2 bangers in there. And when it comes on, I started nodding my head. The childhood started fucking grabbing me and going, remember this, Kevin? I was like, fuck yeah, I do, Kevin. This is good. And the childhood Kevin's like, fuck yeah, you going to crank it? I was like, fuck yeah, already did. And it's great.
I will disagree with that. I hated every fucking song.
You know why? Because you weren't listening. That's your problem.
Oh, no.
You just heard it as noise.
No, it was the only thing to hear because there was no dialogue. I was like, God, I remember the 80s when they would just be like, no, now you listen to this song and look at this shit for a while. And I was just like, the whole song? They're like, the whole fucking song.
Yeah, man.
All 3 minutes of it.
When he's showing up and they play the fucking title track, I'm just like, fuck, yeah. So there's that bond of the father and son. That's what you get. So Sly Stallone is the dad. His name's Lincoln Hawk. Because if you're Sly in any movie, you got to be an animal like a hawk, or you got to be a cobra like Cobretti, which I will maybe watch later.
You got also an animal, but okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm going through the animal list. I'm going through all his animal names.
Sorry. Okay, hawk, cobra.
But you know what? It's over now. So he goes.
Man, fuck you.
He's big rigging, man. The open road is his home, and he's running from something. What's that something? It's basically being a dad that's worth a shit. He's made some mistakes. You ever really find out what those mistakes are? Yeah, Sly's not an open book. You got to pour it. You got to pry it out of him. He's not going to just give it to you.
I mean, it's easy to figure it out, and it's heavily alluded to that basically the father-in-law chased him off by constantly interfering in their marriage.
Well, yeah, but that never stops. The father-in-law picks up. He's the old codgety bastard, even though I say he's a crusty bastard because he was codgety. He's very, very successful. Not codgety. But he's still a thorn in the Hawkman's side. We go to supposedly it's Colorado to California. It's complete bullshit. It's California the whole fucking time. Don't believe Hollywood.
Yeah.
dear
That was
listener.
where it was supposed to be. He was in Colorado. I didn't even catch that because I
Dude,
was just like,
there's Colorado plates in the beginning when they're all pulling up to
"Oh,
the
you're
academy.
right. Yeah,
Uh,
man, the state needs to update the plates because that was the same
oh no, they
plate.
have. They just still
Slightly. I mean, you could get the different
suck.
flavors and stuff, but I'm talking about the default green and white.
Yeah,
Like,
man, that's for the
but
natives to decide.
but
Um,
yeah, I was just like, I don't. This movie's just all California. Like
yeah, it's
when he runs across the busy California road, I was just like, hilarious. How did he not die?
dude, he's over the top. That's why everything's the answer to everything in this movie is over the top. So if you ever watching it, you get kind of confused. I go, fuck it, it's over the top. That's it. You're good.
I do want to say his rig. I was like, fucking, how old is this truck? Like, I know this is an '80s movie, but I was like, this surely they had newer rigs than this.
They did. That's a spoiler for the
Yeah.
end. That from a movie that came out a gang ago. But
Yeah, but I was just like, wow. That
it's
shit's
literally, it's literally on the cover of one of the variant posters or DVD slash box arts, the new rig. But they spoil that. I was like, fucking stupid movie.
old. They probably just didn't want you to be disappointed when you see that old one.
No, I love the old one. That thing looked like it was 5 seconds from joining Mad Max. I was waiting for some dude to hang off it with a fucking leather mask and a shotgun, just started shooting shit for gas. I was like, fuck it, this rig's so sick. It could probably plow through cars, and he wouldn't even know it. He's like, did I just go through like a whole red light? Did I just T-bone a bus? I don't know, because this
Did I
rig
just drive through a
dominates.
small town and just destroy everyone's
I
lives?
did, because I'm out here big rigging in my big fucking jumbo rig. And he's cleaning that bitch up when you first meet Hawk. You're like, man, Hawk, you just did this cool delivery. And then you're cleaning it, and now you're cleaning yourself. Man, truck stop life is the life for me. And he's in there, and he's doing all that shit. He's taking his sweet fucking time. Back at
Yeah,
this.
like he's missing
got
his
nowhere to-
son's graduation.
He's got
To
nowhere
get
to
ready
be.
for his son's graduation. I was just like, I wondered how many times have I seen Sylvester Stallone brush his fucking teeth in a movie, and I think the answer is probably a lot more than I realize. I was just like, man, because when I saw that scene, I was like, did I switch movies all of a sudden? I mean, what the fuck? And I was like, no, this is the right movie. This is the right
You
movie.
switched movies 10 minutes in because they were
I
just
kind
like,
of was just like, what the
watch
fuck?
him get clean. Get clean. Get
Just
clean
brushing his
again.
goddamn teeth.
Yes.
What movie am I watching?
Why aren't
So-
you clean, Sylvester? Get
Yeah.
clean. And somebody walks in. What are you watching? Stop saying get clean.
Talking to Sly. Tell him to get clean.
Got
Yeah,
nowhere
it's
to be.
ridiculous. He does. He has a son's
No,
graduation.
hold on. He's got nowhere to be. Except for the very ass end of this graduation, because he's like me. He didn't want to sit through all that boring shit. He had to get that big rig spotless. He had to get that asshole tight and clean. And he's off with his clip-on tie.
Yeah, his clip-on.
He shows up and he's like, number one, where are you parking that fucking thing is always popping in my mind. I'm like, listen, dude.
Oh,
parking's
I
gotta
loved
be
it.
a
That
real
car
SOP.
pulled out perfectly. He was like, oh, I'll take this spot. It was like,
the car was like, honey, that's fucking Sly. He's pulling up. Oh, he's big rigging today. He's gonna
oh,
need
that
this
guy's
spot.
he's just gonna drive right on top of us and fucking park it. But let's get in. Go.
Honey, that was not Sly Stallone. He had a clip-on tie. Fuck you, you stupid bitch. That was him.
That was him, and we're all about to stare at him as he walks up these steps like he's the most out of place asshole. And I was like,
No, dude. They
Why?
were everyone. So it's like this big ROTC military graduate. So there's families and there's kids and they're all in their dress uniforms and stuff because they had just graduated. He just missed it. Ah, fuck. But he's got his papers with him in some manila envelope. And you're like, hey, what's this fucking guy doing here? Laser vision. You would have think this dude was covered in dog shit with his dick hanging out on fire. They were just staring at him. I was like, hey, man, maybe he
Everyone.
knows someone.
even the fat little kids were just like, who the fuck is that poor person?
Oh,
Why
they
is
were-
a poor person here? I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, he double
Everyone-
parked that
everyone-
fucking big rig. That's Optimus Prime.
But even then, even when he's like so far removed from the big rig, he's walking up the steps, like that family that's taking their photo is just like, holy shit, look at that guy. And the photographer's like, hey, over here, fucking over here. It's like,
Hey, I'm working.
yeah,
I need
direct
eyes.
them.
Eyes on me. Eyes on me. Photo time. Photo
What's your
time.
goddamn picture or not? Okay, this is the '80s. This shit's expensive right now.
And
Okay,
listen, I
top of
saw
the world.
some of those drill sergeant and commanding officers were giving some real pussy ass salutes to the kids and stuff. I was like, you better snap that fucking wrist like you mean it, son. And I
mean,
was just like, what kind of bullshit is this? You gotta fucking respect the fucking bars and stars.
I mean, they were like, hey, listen, I'm an extra. I drove up from Bakersfield for the day. I'm gonna leave.
It doesn't matter. Every kid that graduated this military school or ROTC type thing, they're just going to end up in the private sector anyway. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. So Sly walks in there. He knows he's late. No fucks are given. He goes into the fucking, I guess the dean's type. I don't even know what you would call this role.
He was called a colonel. So
as a colonel. Okay.
I don't know why you need a colonel to run a.
He's probably retired.
School. Yeah, I mean, he's still wearing the uniform. Are you supposed to wear the uniform after you retire?
Yeah, dude, it's graduation, dude. Everyone's got to look their best. It's P's and Q's. Graduate from something, man. You'll see it happen. Everyone gets on their fucking dress uniforms.
I hope I do one day, Kevin. Thank you very much for
shooting for those
down.
Stars. Fucking, so he's in there. The kid's about to jump in the limo, fucking from Grandpop's goddamn Scrooge McDuck's fuck limo goes picks him up, and he's like, they call him. They're like, hey man, report to the fucking colonel's office, you little pissant. And he's like, oh shit, and he goes running back, and he sees his dad. He's like, permission to spring freely, colonel. And he's like, yeah, kid, it's fucking spring break, whatever.
Yeah, the kid's way more intense than the colonel is. Like the kid's just like, I will not break protocol.
Yeah, I love that kid. When in that first beginning, I was like, this kid's built. He's built for stern stuff. He's going to go in there and he's just going to kill for America. And he's like, what is this piece of shit, dog shit, maggot piece of shit here, sir? And then he's like, it's your dad. He's here to pick you up. That's bullshit, sir.
He's like, I'd like to see some identification. And then he's like, cadet, that won't be necessary.
Cadet, you need to stand down.
And Stallone's like, no, it's okay. I came prepared. And it's just a wedding photo. I was like, what the fuck?
He's like, you see this? You see this juicy piece right here? That's your mama. I put my thing in her fucking, I put it in her dirty peach, and you came out, ruined my life. 9 months later, fuck you. And the colonel was like, straight fire. Got you on that one, kid.
Got you on that one, you little fucking cum stain with legs. It's just like...
He made it out. I don't think he's a stain. He was the strongest.
He's still kind of a cum stain on life, But yeah, like,
sir, no, sir. I think this guy's a maggot, sir. I'm not gonna go with him.
Yeah, he's like, my granddaddy said not to fucking look at this man. And he's just like, well, your granddad doesn't have custody, so suck it.
He's a deserter, and he's a goddamn American hating. Ah! So the kid has like an aneurysm, and like Sly's just like, yeah, I guess that's what he does. The colonel's just like, hey, you want to fuck off with that whole like aneurysm shit? Your old man's gonna take you home because all of a sudden I'm a family counselor now.
Yeah, he's like, I understand her plight and his plight.
Go
with him, bond.
So yeah,
all in love with each other as a family.
Your mom told me to come and pick you up, so we're gonna drive back all the way to California. She's in the hospital. And he's like, you okay?
Be there before the surgery.
You know what I will say? Sly in this whole movie is I don't want to say it because he's a full-grown man that's been probably highly educated. He's very well spoken in this. He's very somber and he's very monotone. He doesn't get emotionally outraged. He kind of, even later on when he's looking for his son and there's like a heated scene, he's just very docile in this. He's not screaming. He doesn't really swear at anybody. People get in his face. He's really kind of asleep at the wheel. It's a nice, like, especially for, and I have to imagine that they wanted this film to be family friendly, and like, yeah.
Stallone's not, he's not dumb. He's very articulate. Like he's written so many scripts and Ghost written so many scripts that, it's like he understands the craft of acting and movies and storytelling very well. So that's the one thing I'll say is he is absolutely the best part of this movie because his acting is so different than a lot of the other stuff. You know, he's so typecast as just like the Yo Adrian
Uh-huh.
type, but he is a completely different character in this, and I was like, that's tremendous
Mm-hmm.
because you can't say that about like 90% of the other actors in the 90s and
No,
80s.
yeah, for a guy, I totally agree. For a guy that was, I don't want to, I'll say stereotype to have a certain demeanor and perform a certain way, he actually, dare I quote, showed some sort of range. He was
Yeah,
very
for
like
sure.
heartwarming. He was very like approachable. He was kind of like, he did a great job in my eyes as this estranged dad that's trying to build a bond. And he knows it was limited. He kind of felt like he dealt with the stress because later on you find out that the mom is sick and she's dying. And that's kind of like her final wish was them to kind of have some sort of relationship. Um, then from there, you kind of like, he kind of always stays in that character. It kind of evolves a little bit for him as the Link, the Hawk character, and he does I would say plot kind of, I guess plot B to the side or whatever. I don't even know. Plot A is them,
Yeah.
their story and their journey, literally.
And then Plot B is the movie Kevin wants to watch, which is just all arm wrestling truckers.
Yeah, and that was another thing is back to the blurb about Stallone. When he wanted to do this, he said he wanted it to be more gritty and more kind of like not edgy, but more not so Karate Kid ending. You know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
all this like this lights and big, huge ballyhoo and pyro and shit at the end, where it's just a spectacle. He said he wanted it more like seedy in the sense of like he had to go to like these, non-regulated fights. There's no commercial value to it. It's just kind of like dude on dude slapping forearms and shit in some warehouse where you get knifed at any moment. I was like, oh, that'd probably been fucking cool. And that kind of fell along the lines of what I would do with this movie, where it's almost like he had like I'll tell you what I would do with it later. We'll just plow through this really quick, but
Yeah,
uh,
it's sadly the movie's not like I could just do like maybe like a couple quick points and be done with the movie. It's not there's not a whole lot of depth. It's just a lot of like character moments. And so yeah, they
for
start
sure.
going back, you know, down the road together and I think this is when they're talking and he says something, the kid gets sick and that's when he just jumps out of the fucking truck and decides to run across a freeway and doesn't get hit, amazingly. Stallone finds a place to park the truck, amazingly.
And he's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, and he does not raise a hand to this kid. He barely even said, like, if this was my own child that did this, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the hell were you thinking? Do you have a death wish, you motherfucker? Like,
Yeah.
calm, cool, collected dad would just disappear. Like they would be gone. You would not see them for a couple days.
And
But
I
Stallone
think
maintains this like, no, it's all right, Michael. It's all right, Mike. You know.
I think he does a great job in that, in a weird sense of that whole scene. Because when you first see the scene, it's really you're just in bewilderment of like, what the fuck's this kid's programming? But you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, he has this strenuous life of regimented, i.e., military, all these things happening, right? So he gets to see this dad that he's never saw, that he feels abandoned and left, and the dad's there trying to like dump all this shit on him emotionally. And this kid's never had anything emotional. He's only learned one thing. My grandpa said, "You left us." The end. And why did you leave us? Why? Why? My mom's sick. She's dying. She could be well off. She's not. But this kid, it's either going to be called over the top or watch this fucking 14-year-old or whatever 11-year-old go through all these goddamn emotional fucking roller coasters.
Yeah. I'd say he was really probably the second. I mean, he's definitely the second strongest actor because he's in the movie the most. But up until like kind of the final act,
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. And then the final act, I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Well,
Um,
the story shifted. It wasn't about him anymore. It was
yeah,
more about, we got it. Let's go get some goddamn arm wrestling in because we
yeah,
promised the kids the arm wrestling.
yeah. And I think, yeah. I mean, we'll get there in a little bit, I suspect. But yeah,
And
that's where it really kind of falls apart. Is the third act does a lot of great stuff, but it does not match up with the first two,
right.
like
Yeah.
at all. It's just like, okay, now we're doing another movie
It
all of a
just,
sudden.
a side note on the Michael character is For a kid actor, I think this dude's really good. Like, I notoriously kid actors 95% of the time are straight trash, straight hot trash.
Kevin, that's another peel back of the onion. He hates children actors.
No, that's just straight up. You didn't have to peel that out. I gave that to you. Most of the time,
we already peeled it.
It's the way they're written. They try to make them sound like adults. They try to talk like adults. This kid acted like a kid. He reacted like a kid. You could see the military-esque, like, regimented dialogue and speak and mindset in the beginning. But when he let his emotions start taking over, he was getting more comfortable with Hawk and he was trusting him and stuff like that. He slowly became more volatile to his emotions. And I think he acted like a kid would act in said, situations. He wasn't sitting there trying to shoot one-liners or be sarcastic or overly witty about stuff. He just reacted to things instead. That's what I was like, wow, this is pretty refreshing. He's a borderline dick in the beginning because he's so like defensive about stuff because he was left and abandoned, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. He has a great line where he says, are you really hoping to make up 10 years and 2 days? And I was like, oh, damn. Yeah. This kid knows exactly how long he's been abandoned for.
He knows exactly, and it means a lot to him. So he's super conflicted on why this dude's trying to enter his life. And then as we go on our road adventure, we slowly learn more. But we have a little moment. He kind of insults Hawk. He's like, any monkey can drive this. What are you, a monkey? And he's like, fuck you. You want to drive this? Drive it, brah. And then he's like, all right. So they kind of have this like, I'm teaching my kid how to drive moment.
I actually really liked it because at first I thought he was kind of doing it to punk his ass, but then he was really just like, ha ha ha, I just tricked you into letting me teach you to drive. And I was like, oh, that was really nice.
Like every time with like Hawk and the kid, Michael, it's just him lowering his walls, and Sly knows that. He's just working him down and trying to build that trust and earn that bond. And it's kind of cool. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, he's just going to troll him on driving this thing. And I was like, dude, most people can't even drive a stick shift. This guy's going through fucking 18 gears. What is this?
Yeah, I was like, damn, kid.
He's like, just leave it in third gear. Just leave it. That's the truck screaming for mercy. Please shift gears.
Well, the truck was so old. They were like, well, if this kid kills this truck, whatever.
He's just.
We are missing the scene where he's like, hey, I know a good place to get a steak. And the kid's like, I don't fucking, cholesterol's got to come and kill you, old man. I was like, damn, kid.
Dude. Everything that kid said is so spot on today. I was just like, everything he said, I was like, man, this motherfucker. Because he brings it up again at the diner, and he's just like, yeah, I'll have a tuna salad, a spritz of mineral water with lemon and blah. I was like, dude, what do you?
Yeah, that dialogue aged quite well.
Yeah, it was literally pristine. I was like, did he break that out of a perfect dialogue glass box, fucker?
Yeah, and that's when Sly or Hawk is challenged to what is alluded to at first. Like, if you don't know, like I went in the movie, I knew there was some arm wrestling or whatever. I assumed it'd be arm wrestling. But if you were just like to cold watch this movie, you'd be like, are they about to fight in the back or something? But no, it's just like they build it like it's going to be a fight, but then it's just like, hey, we got this arm wrestling table back here. And you're like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. That's been back there the whole time. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what you're to believe. Like, this guy's got like a P90X in his fucking big rig, right? So you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And this guy just steps to him. He's like, you're fucking Hawk. Hawk, I'm here to fucking slay them. I'm Hawk, fuck Hawk. And the kid's like, yo, what the hell's happening? Are you going to like kill us both? And Hawk's just like, nah, man, I'm just trying to eat my fucking manwich with my kid. Can you fuck off? And he's like, nah, man, I heard you're Hawk. I'm here to slay the fucking Hawk, man. Hawk, man. And then he's like, all right, dude. Fuck off, dude. I'm eating this manwich. I'm gotta get pissed. And he's like, you fucking pussy. Let's fucking go. I'll bet you $1 trillion. And Hawk's like, all right, bitch. You're like,
I mean, it's 1,000. I mean, which is a lot for 80s money as well as
that's now. A lot right now.
I know. I was getting there. Okay. But for 80s, it was like, it'd be like a lot more now, I think. No, it's not. We really have a shit economy. I don't care what anyone says.
I'll take 1,000 right now.
Yeah, I'd take 500 right now. Shit. Yeah, and it's just like, and then Michael's like, where you going? He's just like, I can't talk right now. I gotta go to work. He turns the cap around, and that's when you see Stallone kind of do his typical Stallone, where he's like, "Ooh," gets all intense in the face.
He starts rolling his shoulders, and I'm just like, oh man, this guy's going to go to work. The best part about this scene is that like even the sizzle on the steak, everything goes quiet. Everyone just kind of looks like you can hear a fucking church mouse piss on cotton. It's so quiet. And then because everyone's just like, oh shit, that's the Hawk man. They about to do it. They about to. And then the second the green light is for an arm wrestling match in the fucking side room, everyone flocks over. And they're just like, there's already money in the air. They're fucking just pumping fists and shit.
The waitress was on the table.
Like, hold that order, motherfucker. Yeah. She's throwing her tips Bill, out there.
Fuck that food. Get out here.
Dude, I was just like, this environment is fucking amazing. Like, the kid, they're hanging from the rafters in this fucking diner. And I was like, man, not more than that moment right now, not more in my whole life. I wanted to be a trucker right there. Because you're just like, man, apparently all we do is just big rig and arm wrestle. That's all we do. Big rig, arm wrestle.
And a strong community. Everyone was still supportive. Even when there was a loser, they were still supportive of each other.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a close. It wasn't a toxic community. They loved each other. You lost, man, but you gave it your all. They're still like, is a family. So they're going to work, and you're just like, oh man, like what the fuck? And then
till Bull shows up,
dude. Bull, he's a legit arm wrestler back in the day. Like real talk. He's real. He shows up. The kid's in the background like, shit, I can't even watch. I'm standing on fucking bar stools to see this shit. Bull's already sweaty. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was.
This dude's serious. Who shows up sweaty? He
was sweaty the whole movie.
He shows up with these aviators and this fucking handlebar mustache. I was like, this guy fucks. This dude, he's cool as hell. That's the only thing. And I was just like, is he going to like just kill everyone right now? Because he's ready. He's pre-sweated.
Yeah. I was like, it seemed like a not hot day out, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's the start of summer.
Bull's like, bring the heat. You'll check me later in my blaster shirt.
Yeah.
On the back it said ass. It's like ass blaster. I like it. Real edgy. And so then like Bull's just like, yeah, is that the fucking Hawk, man? So like fucking Hawk slays this dude, right? Gets that money. And the kid's like, yeah, that's my dad. You're fucking huge. And he's like, yeah, too bad, kid. That's your dad. He's a real turd burglar. And the fucking Hawk comes back and he's like, Hawk, let's do it like now, right now. What's up? He's
like, double or nothing. Let's go.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You Hawk's can't just double like, or nothing. Someone else's first one. First of all, that's not how it works. But I get what you are trying to say. Money. You say you'll give him 2,000, but that's still not how it works.
Hawk's just like, save it for Vegas. And he was like, what? Let's go right now. He's like, save it for Vegas. Vegas, motherfucker. I'm trying to eat my goddamn shit.
Yeah. And then his son's just like, you hustled that man. I'm fucking out of here. I don't want tuna fish anymore. Just like leaves.
I would have left too, unless it was toasted. If it's toasted, I'm staying. I'm taking it to go. But I'm upset.
It's not being toasted.
You could ask it. They'll toast it. They got no problem. Toasters like
80s truck stop diner. You think they're gonna toast it for you if you ask? Like, oh yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. Done this, right? That man is a god there. That kid was walking on water. He never even knew it.
Nah, he was just a regular. He wasn't a god.
Hawk's a god.
Hawk was not a god. He was a regular that ate steak a lot.
Listen, dude, he's a regular that commanded that whole fucking diner, and that diner was packed. There had to be like, that's a fire regulation. There was fucking 800 people.
Oh, yeah. No, the fire marshal shows up. He's like, whoa, I don't give a fuck. All right, finish. But then kicking all of you out afterwards. Finish up, quick.
Hawk's here?
Can
I get an auto? Let me get an autograph.
Let me sign my back.
Hey, Hawk, come over here. Let's do a TikTok real quick.
Sign the barrel of my gun. Yeah, sign the barrel. That's fucking.
The fire marshal has a gun.
Yeah, why? It's not my flare gun.
Sign my fire truck. I don't really drive around in this, but fuck
Sign my fire truck. He's like, how big you want the signature? He's like, oh, do the full side, man. He's like, yeah, spray paint. Just go nuts.
Hawk's like, well, this is really irregular. I just wrote Hawk. Is that cool?
It's like very nice handwriting. He's like, the fuck? No one's gonna know that was you. It looks like I did that. He's just like,
draw an arm wrestling match. He's like, no.
Google fucking Hawk right now. He's like, oh, all right. He just does a total paint job on the fire truck. He's like, fucking sick, Hawk. Fucking sick.
I thought I'd add the flames, it's fucking sick, right?
See the wings that go into the flames, and then you're just like, because you do the fire stuff. And he's just like, fuck yeah, Hawk, I got it. I'm there with you. I watch you do the whole goddamn thing. It's amazing.
And he just starts fire marshal.
I gotta go home and bang my wife after looking at this.
He starts doing right in the parking lot with his fire truck, shooting his gun that he has now.
Yeah, shooting flares. This is like, fucking Hawk's here. Seriously though, Martha, I gotta shut you down. That is a total fire hazard in there. Kid's just like asleep in the truck. He's like, are you done paying that man's truck yet?
It's like, dude, it's a big truck.
Like, Grandpa was right. You are a loser.
Boo! I don't even remember what happens after the fire marshal.
They have they talk. It's the music video.
Oh yeah, a lot of like family montage-ish stuff.
Yeah, he gets the kid to kind of talk to him, and then they sleep. He just pulls over, and he's just like, I don't see a hotel. He's just like, well, a lot of the truckers sleep in their car, or in their cab. I just thought we would try that tonight. And he's just like, all right, anything you could do, I'll do it. I did like this scene because he's like, well, if you want to use my shoulder for like a pillow, like he's just like, he wants this moment. He's like, please, for the love of God, make me feel like a father. Rest your head on my shoulder. And then like, boom, next morning he's laying on Mike's shoulder. And I was just like, yeah, you got me. That was good. I appreciate that.
It was, a cute, sweet moment and stuff like that. And the whole time, the old limo dude's still waiting out in front of the academy, waiting for Michael to come back.
It's like, man, this guy's gonna fucking have my balls if I don't get this kid soon. Okay, like, where is he?
There's a bunch of intercuts, sprinkled scenes of basically Cutler, I think his name is, the dad or the grandfather. Yeah. The Jason Cutler, I think his name was. Basically just telling his big 90s goons, like everybody that works for him looks like a fucking goon. You got Terry Funk, he's in his prime, he's stacked. Even the lawyer looks like a fucking asshole. Everyone just has this great 80s asshole look. Everyone just looks like a slime ball. They all look like the bad guys from Die Hard.
He looked like he was doing some shady deals on the side for the business. Like,
I would be
like he was sent to like foreclose on like old ladies' homes.
Oh,
and be like, you have till Friday to get the fuck out. They're like, but where will we live? And he's just like, frankly, I don't give a fuck. And then just like,
old bitch,
and then just like flips the coffee table and snorts some cocaine and leaves.
Yeah, dude. Like, he's just, everyone just so fucking unlikable, and but they don't really do anything bad.
They just have a good look for it.
They just have great, just scummy looks, but they're just kind of like doing Cutler's bidding of just like, hey, go get my kid. Where's my kid? We got to put out like just an APB out on my kid, but with goons.
With like 80s goons of any type and size in any town. Just, don't even say anything. Just kidnap the child. I'll somehow explain when you
Which I kind of like, because Cutler doesn't want to get he'd rather pay some dirty fucking bastard to still maybe harm the child instead of just going, because he doesn't have a case. If he calls the cops will be like, is that his dad? And they'll be like, yeah, what's the problem? You know what I mean?
Do you have custody? All right, then fuck off.
Exactly.
Custody is brought up a lot in this movie. I don't think anyone actually knows how custody works in the movie.
I don't know what custody was. This movie taught me that if something is mine, I can go get it with goons.
Yeah.
That's all I learned.
Yeah, I just don't think they knew how custody worked.
Yeah, custody was just dudes in suits.
Can't just kidnap your grandchild and be like, well, now I have the custody. That's not how it works. And the kid also does not get to decide custody.
I think you're wrong. I think the kid gets to say where he wants to go, and the lawyer's got to draft it.
And also, once you give up the custody, it's really hard to get it back. That's another thing that was just like, no.
I think custody laws have changed because of this movie. So you're probably on that new stuff.
They were like, okay, we really no take backs. That's should be rule number 1 of custody. No take backs. And also no kidnappings. We should add those to custody laws. And someone was like, did you watch Over the Top this weekend? I sure as shit did. You're right. We should add this.
It changed the game.
It did.
Arm
Before
wrestling,
that,
Dustin.
people are just willy-nilly throwing around custody like, who cares? Oh, you're my goddamn kids now, too.
What did they do after the? Doesn't he go to the another diner? 'Cause they got to eat, right?
No, well, yeah, but first we have our workout montage where.
Oh yeah. He's loosening the kid up. He's
Yeah.
hey man, this is what I do to get swole, and he's like, cool.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure that's the after that is the truck driving scene, and then they go to the diner and get some food because now they're all properly bonded and everything. And then this was a weird moment where I was just like, what the fuck? Where he's just like, yeah, kid, you feeling strong? You feeling ripped? Yeah, let's go fight a fucking other kid at arm wrestling. And I'm just like,
listen. Hey, right now, before you go any further, this was a moment that stood out to me. And listen, I might have this childlike confusion with this part and maybe the part in The Wizard where they do this.
Is it the same kid? Like, this kid looked like scummy 80s fucking kid in everything.
That kid is fucking gold. He should be protected at all cost. I saw him and I was like, you are a perfect fucking little bastard.
He was an absolute, just like, I was like, that's the 80s right there. That's what I think of. It's that fucking kid. None of this other shit. Just that fucking kid. Jean jacket, vest, no shirt, just fucking
half spiky hair, fucking gloves on, ready to fucking scrap and maybe do some fucking Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, two yes men by him.
Just cronies. Like, he had cronies.
Yeah, he had cronies. He's hanging out in a fucking diner, playing pinball. Like, life is fucking good. Like,
he ran that diner. Either he ran that diner or his mom was a waitress there. I can't decide, but I like both of them.
Maybe. She might have been fired once. They're like, hey, kid, stop coming around. She don't work here no more. He's like, I know. I don't give a fuck where she works. See her when she's dead.
I hid a batter knife in the bathroom. I'll cut you, you old bastard.
Yeah, he's like the kid that would yell, be like, whatever, pedo, and just like run away.
Yeah.
Like, God,
he was the kid that you used to hang out with that yelled at adults. And you were like, oh my God, we're going to get killed. Yeah. Favorite part, dude. So Sly's just really digging the bonding. He's like, man, me and this kid, you know what? I'm going to turn him on to one of my favorite sports, and that's fucking dude on dude arm wrestling. They're going to slap forearms, and they're going to do it all. And they might, if I pray and I hope and he fucking choked down that double breakfast we ordered, this kid's going to go over the top. And
but it was just such a weird.
No, I loved it, dude. I love what
I know, but it was weird that he was just like, I'm gonna I don't know how to relate to you in any other way, so I'm just going to have you do exactly what I do, which was it's believable, but it was still just kind of strange.
It's what he did. He got lost in the moment. He's not a dad. He's just a guy that's trying to rekindle. He did what we like to call in the industry over parroting. He thought he had something good. He pushed it a little too far.
In the industry, the parenting industry.
He didn't know what to do. So he's like, hey, we might went a little too far. You might not have been emotionally ready for it, but the military is going to try to make you a man, and I'm going to make you a man on the streets. Not like that, but just like this. Maybe. I loved it. I loved when any adult makes other kids fight other kids in movies. I love it. It's fucking brilliant. I wish it was organized. Maybe we can get like a Fight Island, Dana White. Check it out. Let me know if you're interested.
He's like, this is our UFC island. Kids can fucking fight.
I'm like, fucking fight
to the death.
Yes. Can we bet on it?
No. We make too much money out of the adults. The kids, for sure, to the death, though. This is also where Stallone, his character coins a phrase of the world's not going to meet you halfway. You gotta take what's yours.
That hit me, man. That woke me up. I was like, whoa, Stallone, write it down. Put it on a shirt, maybe in a book, because I believe that.
I mean, I put it in a movie. You
didn't
really understand merchandising back then, but yeah, it should probably definitely be on a shirt right now. So just with that shitty rig on it,
That rig rocked.
Not the
Volvo. The kid. He's like, hey, this kid could beat you because you're a fucking scumbag kid that hangs out on the tire all day, and you got
you're a scumbag kid. You don't know either parents. He knows both, kinda.
Exactly, and you got your two little heater friends that are trying to heat you up. I don't give a shit. This kid's got it right now. Let's lock it down. And the kid, oh, Dad, I'm not ready. My dad, he's a jokester. He's always joking around. And this kid's like, fuck you, old man. Let's fucking bang. Let's do this shit. Link it up.
In his face. And I love it. He's also like, hey, kid, you did some arm wrestling? He's like, yeah, I've done some arm wrestling. I was like, what the fuck? What a weird question.
I believe that kid. If that kid said he just robbed a liquor store, I'd be like, yeah, he did. I saw it. Like, he would make me a believer.
You said arm robbery, right? Yeah, I did some arm robbery. He's like, no, arm wrestling. That too. Yeah, that too.
Sir, we're just out to have a friendly competition among gentlemen. Just please don't pull your chivy or your fucking pistol.
Don't pull your piss knife on me, you little brat. I'll put your head through this fucking pinball machine, okay? I know your type. I know your goddamn type.
So they do it. 2 out of 3, right? Sly puts down the money. He's like, yo, I got you. You pay what is it, like $2 to his $10 or some shit?
10 to 1. He gives it
10 to 1.
$10 to his $1.
Kid loses. Michael loses. He's shook, right?
Yeah, he runs out. He's like, fucking kid sucks. He's a fucking pussy. He just starts railing.
That kid was just gold. Every moment, every breath he took, there should have been a fucking holiday. The kid was great. Michael runs out. He says, I should have never believed you, Bob. It's right. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. The kid just pissed his pants.
You're just trying to embarrass me because you're a fucking loser. You're trying to make me a loser. And I was like, damn.
I was like, whoa, back it up, man.
You are onto something.
Kid goes right for the jugular when he's trying to hurt someone.
And also, it's just such a weird picture into the 80s of like that truck drivers reviewed as like scum of the earth. And like that was
they're the backbone of this country. This kid needs to learn some respect.
They are, and I think a lot of people understand and know that now. But like, especially then,
Dustin, you got to remember that's his grandfather talking, and that's the hurt of the boy.
Yeah,
the hurt of the child of being left, being fueled by the grandfather.
It's not like the grandfather's opinion just came out of thin air. It's a very, they wrote the movie. They had to know like that was. Like,
of course, yeah. It was probably a snapshot of that time, and plus,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's where the child was using it from. He's not articulate enough or know the ways of the world to kind of get that. He's he's just trying to bring his dad down, his father. So they do that, and he's like, "Listen, man, don't be a little bitch. You got to go in there. You got to go over the top." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, he does. That's his problem." Sly, he's not going over the top.
Yeah, and then he teaches him his illegal arm wrestling move.
He's like, hey, I don't like to do this. I did it in Cambodia. Almost got me stabbed. But hey, you got to go over the top. And it pretty much he just turns his hat around is really what happens.
Yeah, he puts the hat on and turns it around. They do it. He wins 2 more. And then he makes the kid pay. He's like, pay up.
I would have made him pay in blood. I'd have been like, listen, you went too far with the name calling. But Michael's got confidence.
Steal my kid, you motherfucker. Boom! Puts his head through.
Just power bombs him through the pinball machine.
Hawk, stop putting the kids' heads through the goddamn pinball machine. He's just like, sorry, Sheila. I'll get you next time.
Breaking story. It looks like a local, non-local man at a local diner goes over the top on a local boy. And
did you say over the top? No, that's okay then. Never mind. This isn't even a story. This is just
fact of life. So remember, when you're ever at this diner, you don't go over the top. You get fucked up. Yeah. Now for sports.
Now for local sports.
So the father-son bond is tighter than ever. He's given this kid a pair of nuts. I think his nuts dropped on that scene a little bit. So you're just kind of like, hey, Mikey's coming to Manny. Hey.
Yeah.
And
they call the mom, and
call the mom.
Yeah, he's bragging. Slice Hawk's telling him, say he's bigger. No, he's bigger. Tell him he's like 6 fucking foot.
Literally 380, fucking 6'7". You put him through a fucking goddamn car window. You knifed him. You made him bleed. Oh shit! So he's on the phone.
Killed a man, Mom.
I went over the top.
We're over the top. She's like, oh, I'm so proud of you. So the bonding is strong with the murder, So, and we've seen the mom a couple times. She's continued to get worse. The dad's also, stopped by and visited her. We don't quite know why she's in the hospital yet. Happens a little bit later.
Isn't it the big C? She has cancer, right?
No, it's a heart transplant.
Oh, you're right.
Classic 80s heart transplant.
Yeah.
What are they dying from? They need a heart transplant. Oh,
more theatrics with that. I like that.
Yeah.
It didn't stick with me. I couldn't recall. I just know she progressively got worse. Every time I saw her, she was just looking really worse for wear, and I was just like, oh man, I don't know if she's gonna make it. And then so Hawk's on the phone, and then the boy gets boy napped out of nowhere.
He's out there flexing muscles, being the man.
Yeah, he's doing 1-arm push-ups on the fucking roof of the fucking big rig. He's just feeling himself.
And yeah, he gets boy napped, and Hawk ain't having it.
Dude, Hawk just puts that thing. He goes 0 to 80, man, and he pulls a GTA. He's just driving through fields and grass and fucking lawns. He ends up. Go ahead. Oh, he just basically does some aggressive driving, cuts off people, doesn't give a shit. I mean, that's a diesel you're fucking with, man. Cuts these guys off, knocks one dude the fuck out after he jumps out, and then he gets a little bumpy on his head, but he's okay. It's not a huge action scene. You think it's going to go like a crazy chase? But they kind of wrap that shit up in like 60 seconds.
Yeah, and even though he damaged someone else's cars in the car lot, he just moves on. Like, they're just like, okay.
You want to know why it was okay?
Your son was kidnapped?
Exactly, because justice was served. You can do whatever you want when you're going for justice. If movies have taught me anything, if justice is on your mind, unless you're Victoria Justice, if justice is on the plate, you may do anything you like. You could kill, you could destroy.
Unless it, moves the story forward later on.
True. I think what after that is
they go to the hospital and find out that Mom died on the operating table that day, and
more emotions for Michael.
Yeah, Michael is pissed off. He's like, if I wasn't in a fucking truck with you, if I'd just gotten on the plane with my grandfather, I would have seen her. I would have, none of this would have happened if I wasn't with you. Gets in a fucking taxi.
He's like, taxi. I'm
the
fucking
taxi
rich.
takes it. Taxi's just like, I don't know. I mean, if a kid has the balls to use a taxi, he must got some fucking money. Dude, drives off.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. I was like, son, is that your father behind you screaming, Michael, don't go. Get in. I flashed the cash. Oh.
You must have money if he's over there and you're over here. Let's go, kid.
You just pieced out your old man. You're rich. When I was a little kid, I didn't even know what a taxi was, let alone brave enough
I'll
to take
pay
one.
You double if you shut the fuck up right now. It's just like,
big spender.
Spender, I'll just
calm
triple
down,
if you don't sing. He's like, but and then next we're at the funeral. Sly is apparently not allowed to wear anything other than jeans in this movie, and
he's a working man. He's blue collar through and through,
and he just shows up late as usual. Dude, he can't show up on time for anything in this movie.
He shows on time. If he was pulling a rig behind him, he'd be on time. But
if he showed up for an arm wrestling competition, he's early.
He's on time.
He was early. Yeah, he was early.
If it's a life event or something's changing, he'll get there when he gets there.
He shows up. He throws his fucking flowers on the fucking coffin. Just looks at Michael like, my boy. Looks at the old fucking father-in-law like, you motherfucker. And then everyone just stops. Everyone again stops. They're just like, did a truck driver just approach a goddamn funeral? This motherfucker. And then the minute Sly walks away, he's just like, all right, we'll proceed again.
The thing that you constantly forget about the Hawkman is he commands a room. He commands it. He walks in there, even if it's a room that's outside where someone's dead. He walks in and he commands it. Because they all want to see what the Hawkman's going to do next. He drops
this motherfucker in jeans do it.
He had a real tie on this time, no clip on. Or no, was he wearing bracers or suspenders or whatever?
He was wearing suspenders and a tie. Nice.
I like the variety, Like, where's the Hawk fashion line?
I don't know. I mean, his pants were up really high in this movie.
That was the style. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but it was still weird.
Go back to that time and then try to buy pants that weren't like that.
I don't think they were that high all the time.
You're being a pickle.
All right, I'll just take your word for it. I mean, I don't remember wearing fucking pants that high as a child or seeing family wearing high
You
pants like
did.
that.
You were a child. Remember, go back to my comment earlier. You're a child. You knew nothing. You thought everything was cool. You're like, this is what
I
pants
mean,
do. This is where they are.
I did think Hudson Hawk was cool.
Hudson Hawk
So
was cool. Like, wait, the movie?
the movie
Oh,
Hudson Hawk.
We'll save that for later.
Okay. That's the next Hawk movie. We're just gonna find it's all Hawk month this month. Just movies with people named Hawk.
I'm very okay with that.
I'm only half joking. Yeah, and so after the funeral, then he tries to stop by the house to see Michael, and was that Terry Funk that told him?
Terry
No, it was a different
Funk,
guy.
thank you. Terry Funk says, "Funk you." And
Was it
like,
him? I thought it was a different guy.
It was. Terry Funk was in the office when he gets into the house.
Gotcha,
That was big, broad shoulders crony number 2.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Get out of here." He's like, "I just want to hear it from Michael." He's like, "Well, you can't, so fucking get out of here." And he backs that rig up very believably, like very well. Like I haven't seen a rig back up that perfectly up a curved driveway probably in my entire life.
Guy's
and
a pro,
he
man.
Barrels it back down. And here's the part where it kind of all starts to fall apart for me, Kevin, because I was like, why did you keep driving through everything, including the house? Like, why?
He wanted to send a message. It was a little bit of fuck you.
What's the message? You better call fucking child services because they're going to want to have a couple words with me.
I think he wanted to hit, like, listen, those goons, those cronies or whatever, they were so fucking punchable. Like, it's been a long time I've watched a movie. I was like, Sly, just snatch his tie through the fucking fence and smash his head against the grate. That's all I want you to do. Just pull him really until his face starts to pop. I wanted him to just violently react to those guys because they were just such scumbags. And I was like, wow, they've had like no dialogue, but just the look on their faces. I was just like, please use violence on these guys. And he really didn't. But yeah, when he plowed through that house, I was like, man, he's going to remember this shit. He fucked his whole house up.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the Michael runs down the stairs. He's like, fuck it, this is sick. Shit,
like,
my dad.
Whoa. Shit, I don't know you could do this. We could do this in the truck. Why didn't you say that sooner? What the fuck?
Hey, man,
He's like, don't you remember when I drove through that town? Like, through it?
Fucking
like,
sick.
No, you might have been asleep.
Fucking Hawkman cometh. And so basically when rich people are in danger, cops show up real quick.
Oh, my God. They were there within, like, 10 seconds. 10 fucking seconds. Like, they were just
we got a rich white man. Needs assistance.
Like they were on this guy's payroll too. Like they were just like, yeah, we're the your cops for the evening. We'll be 10 seconds away in case anything happens. If someone manages to get through all 50 of your goons, we will be here. He was like a fucking video game boss. This guy.
It was great.
And so I love this part because the goons got him against like the stair rail, and then the cops like, we got him. Get off. We got him. And you could see that they were just like so excited in that moment to be acting. Like they're just doing a lot of extra dialogue. They start his Miranda rights twice. I love that. I was like, I know you're not supposed to pick that up on it because the music's really kicking in. And anytime the music kicks up in this movie, you're supposed to just like ignore everything else. But I caught that. Yeah, dude, it was hilarious.
The cops were just like, man, I want to read them that you read them, okay? I want to hit him with a flashlight that you hit him with a flashlight because Hawk's got a lot of flashlight scenes in this. Is he going to beat someone with a flashlight? It doesn't happen. Fuck.
I mean, that was a very believable trucker Magnite. Like
movie teases the flashlight beatings too much for me. I was like, come on, dude, just haul off on one guy. I don't remember a lot of this
because that will kill someone.
I know that's not what Hawk would do because Hawk's actually a good, decent guy. But I was just like, maybe he was pushed a little bit too far. Maybe he had to go over a couple of things, and that mag light was going to light the way off someone's face. But that goes into my over the top story.
Gotcha. We'll get there. Because now Stallone is in jail. It looks like a prison. It's massive. But then the scummy personal assistant / probably definitely meant to be a lawyer visits him and is just like, hey, you give us custody of the boy and get the fuck out of the state and never come back to the state and we won't press charges. And he's like, I want to hear from Michael. And he's just like, I knew you'd say this. Here's your son.
I liked Michael's fit. I liked his little suit. I was like, damn, I'd rock that right now. I like that.
Oh, it was
I'd wear
such a
that
classic like 80s,
It was
90s rich
great.
boy suit.
Yeah, I
Like
was like,
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what Richie Rich, like Macaulay Culkin wore in the Richie Rich movie.
it was great.
So just khakis, navy blue blazer, red and navy blue tie.
He had a
That's it.
pinstripe too. It had a light pinstripe on his undershirt. I
Oh,
like
there you go. Yeah, it was a good look. It was a very preppy, kick that kid's ass look.
It's very. I have more money
for
than
money. Yeah, kidnap him for money.
you. Yeah, I'm rich. You're not. There you go.
And then Michael spins some bullshit. He's just like,
It's
I'm
just
gonna
more.
go- I'm
It's
gonna
just
go
more of his
grandpa.
grandfather's rhetoric. So he's just the grandfather is doing the fucking brainwashing to him, and Stallone's like, yeah, I guess. And sorry for calling him Stallone and Hawk every other time. They are the same character.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
So he agrees to it, and then they get him out. They don't press charges.
Gives up custody
Mm-hmm.
because he's got to get to Vegas now. So, yeah.
Yeah. So grandfather's got what he wants, and then don't forget about Vegas because I know you have because we're at a movie right now. So fucking story
Yeah.
B is now thrusted to the front, and we're going to go over the top. He sells his big rig. He gets like 7 G's for it. He goes
Yeah.
to the tournament in Vegas. He fucking
Walks.
puts it all. What?
He walks there. That's why he's taking so late, or he's so early because he has to walk.
Yeah. And he gets there and he puts it all on himself. And I was like, damn, dude. This
Something
movie
we will never revisit again.
This taught me anything. Always bet on yourself. I mean, Wesley tried to teach me that, but it's fucking Stallone too. Why haven't I done it?
I like this because he was like, "What are the odds on Lincoln Hawk?" Like he says it like he's not Lincoln Hawk.
Oh,
they're
that
just like,
guy's not going to know. That guy was just like, I don't know, man. A whole fucking lot to a whole little. And he's like, I'll take those odds. He's like, really? These are shitty odds.
they're just like, "Okay, man, it's your $7,000 you want to lose." Like I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
And
I just count.
I like that part. That was kind of, I know it sounds stupid, but that's
I
like my
liked it.
favorite part. I was just like, dude, he's
I
just
just
like,
wish there was any sort of conclusion to that part.
no, there's not. There's not a lot of conclusion to anything as we slowly just funnel into the ending. There's just kind of like all these like little half ideas and just moments that this
Yeah.
whole movie is just laced between.
And then so
Truckee.
yeah, and so we start arm wrestling, and Michael starts looking for the letters that he said he wrote to him all his life. For some reason, the mom didn't want to like build that relationship and never gave them to him, even though she had them all. So eventually he
Because
finds them.
It was probably coming from the dad, leaning on the mom, leaning on the kid,
Yeah,
saying, "Hey,
probably.
we want him out of his life. Don't confuse him." So the mom was like, "Yeah," and then she said, "Fuck it" at the end.
Yeah, but she was writing back to him the whole time, though.
Yeah, but
That's
she was
the part
making
that I'm
she
like,
wasn't in no,
fuck.
dude. She wasn't involving the child. The child is the big thing, dude. You got 6 kids, bro. You don't understand this dichotomy they're trying to bring.
I don't have 6 kids. Thank you.
That
very
you
much.
know about.
I think I would know.
No, you wouldn't. You're not
I
birthing
would.
them.
Uh, anyway, besides,
You're just irresponsible.
there's another way to know, Kevin. Like
You're just irresponsibly spreading your bad mayo throughout the country.
I'm a real fucking cosmic Thanos over here, just like going to different planets, popping my seed, and be like, gotta go, pop, pop. Anyway,
Sorry, everybody. We try to keep comic books out of it, but look what happened.
I never agreed to that. And so yeah, and then so we just have this amazingly bad story of Michael going from LA or from Bel Air to Vegas on his own. He steals a truck. He disobeys all traffic laws, drives to LAX, gets on a fucking plane. There is no pause for a moment of how he pays or accomplishes all this as
He's
a minor
rich.
on his own. There's no indication that he has any money. He jumps from a 2nd-story patio and just gets up. He lands on his ass and just gets up. I know he was just falling on a fall pad. Still, I was just like,
yeah,
fuck.
yeah. He probably he had a crash pad. They're not gonna throw a kid out a window, dude. Like when
Technically,
he's
they did.
lived in laps of luxury, you don't think this kid's got like money out the ass? He's probably got his own card or whatever. Like we've already shown that he's a rich, well-to-do. When it comes to money
I
or
know I'm
anything,
supposed to buy that, but just show me one time him paying for something.
we're running out of movie. We're done with this story. We
I
gotta
know,
get over it.
I didn't need all this. Just show him doing one thing
No, dude,
Having a
you don't.
butler take him or something, anything
No, the
other than
butler's
what
not gonna take it. The butler's gonna lose his fucking job.
Butler
Oh
can
yeah.
have a heart of gold. He's like, oh
No,
man,
the butler
I
got
want you
left
to
at the
bond with your
academy. He's
brother.
still waiting.
That was the Colorado butler. This is the California butler that's known him all his life.
This is the part where I think you're completely out of line.
Anyway,
Michael's.
it was not very believable. It was ridiculous.
It was
They take
totally
a
believable.
private jet and get there before him, and we're waiting for him. He hides in the luggage. He climbs out of the luggage thing. I was like, "Where'd this fucking kid come from?" And I was like, "Good on you for saying that."
I'll let it stand. I think you're totally wrong. Michael it was a reverse role.
It was ridiculous.
He was like, now I have to be there for my dad. I
He's
have
like
to chase
12
him.
and he stole a car.
Dude, he taught him how to drive a big rig. You don't think he could drive that 99 4Runner? My mom had the same car. I've driven that fucker. It's easy to drive.
I mean, he was really bad though. Just swerving all over, cutting people off, running red lights.
Yeah, pretty sure the car didn't have the keys in it on some of the shots because it's movie magic, bro. That kid was rich. I totally believed it. I was just like, yeah, Michael, you got to get there. You got a lot of time. You're gonna make it at the finals. Oh, you're bookcasing this movie. Dad showed up late. You're gonna show up late. I get it. So fucking Stallone shows up. He's doing his preps. The movie wants you to know, and this huge just cavalcade of characters that are gathering for this tournament, that it is double elimination.
Several
like,
times.
All right, I've said this about 32 times. You stupid fucks. This is for everyone at home and in the theaters. It's double elimination. When Sly loses his first round, I don't want you to get pissed. You stupid assholes. It didn't go, what happened? It's double elimination. And then I was like, yeah.
Jump to the end because this is where I have one major problem with this movie. Because I understand that was there for Sly.
Would you call
why
him
are the Sly? Yeah, I call him Sly. Like it's like Sly and July. You know,
my favorite two things.
Exactly. Why is the finals not double elimination, Kevin? Like,
what do you mean?
He had been undefeated for 5 years. He beats him once, and he wins the movie.
Oh yeah,
why did he not have to beat him twice? Because it's double. Why does double elimination just disappear in the finals?
Because that was just a fucking dramatic plot device to make you go, oh man, we got about like 15 more minutes of movie we got to buff. Double elimination, very good. I mean, they could have done a winner's bracket, loser's bracket. You got to fight your way out of losers. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying is like at that point, he still has to beat him twice. Like,
fuck, I don't know. I don't follow arm wrestling, so that could have been legit rules. That could have been movie rules. I don't know. That's
like we ran out of movie rules.
That's a secret that's going to die with everyone involved.
Well, I think that A, they forgot, and B, that they couldn't build up the tension anymore. It's like after you have him beat him once, that's it. You know, you can't.
Yeah.
But then at that point, just make a note of saying finals, no double elimination anymore. Like you had this motherfucker announce double elimination like 5 times in the movie.
Well, like I said,
give him a moment to say it again.
They were at a dramatic. Yeah, I mean, they were at a dramatic beats because it's like you can't make it like Karate Kid. I mean, he gets hurt. Oh no, will he win? Oh no, it's a point system. We understand the points. You know what I mean? It's very reminiscent of that, but it didn't have enough time. It didn't have enough because when we got there, it's kind of okay to watch, but it's just a bunch of assholes arm wrestling, and you got the women's division, and you got the guys, and then. Okay, you have a couple of funny characters, like the guy that drinks the fucking oil. That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
It turns into a big. It turns into just big over the top. You have the everyone's wearing their. I mean, it's the gun show. If you're wearing a tank top, you get bonus points. Like everyone's just fucking flexing out there, and I'm pretty sure they had like, I don't know, real arm wrestlers there other than that guy. I'm pretty sure there's tons of extras. There's that one Asian fella that's always doing the exercises with his one arm pump, and that's a hard exercise he's doing. He's got like a 15-pounder just going over his head. I was like, geez, that's heavy.
And I appreciated that the shirts started to change a lot for Sly. I'm just calling him Sly from now on. And,
I don't do that because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, who?
For Hawk and Bull, they both just like at first were just rocking the same shirt for the whole thing, and then all of a sudden they were just like, "Oh, shirt change." I was like, "What the fuck?" Did the other one get too sweaty?
Sassy New York shirt and Bull
and Bull had
shirt.
Well, he had like that yellow like mid-drift one, and then all of a sudden he had like a different one for the finals. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, Michael makes it there just in time. Grandfather makes it. It's just a big clusterfuck of all the characters that you've come to know and love, except for like the fucking driver and the mom, because I assume he's still waiting. He's dead. Yeah. And then they're watching from heaven, and he's watching on.
Yeah, and Grandpa tries to buy off fucking Hawk. He's like, one last rig? Time. That's the best rig. Take this money. Go live your dream. Go live everything you're trying to accomplish with this thing, and like fuck off, because Hawk doesn't know his son's there at that point, and so he's just like, you already took everything from me. Like fuck off. Like you're the poison that like ended everything. Like eat a dick. And then he fucking puts Terry Funk through that fucking door, and that was great. Yeah. I was just like, damn, that door is made of shit.
I was like, Terry, you take your old bumps, you went flying through that fucking thing.
Seriously. And I love the presidential suite. I was like, is it the entire floor? Are we even in a hotel right now? Is this a second
I thought
house?
He was in another mansion. I was like, why can't I be rich?
What the fuck?
This guy's got Jeff Bezos problems, and I can't fucking rub two fucking pennies together. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, damn, you 1% are you? So
fuck yeah.
But then Michael gives him a reverse pep talk. He's just like, fuck you, old man. I'm here because I love you and I believe in you. You got to go do this shit. And he's like, I don't know, Mike. I kind of hurt my arm a little bit. He's just like, God, you fucking pussy.
No, I hurt my arm and I hurt my heart when I thought I lost you. That's what happened. And then he was like, no, man, I'm here. We're bro dogs forever, Dad. And he's like, shit, bro dogs. That's all I needed to hear. Let's go. He's like, go over the top, you old motherfucker. And he's like, Hawk.
He's like, I'm totally going to use the illegal move where I just unlock my fingers and relock them and change the grip after we already
that's why they had to strap him in.
Fucking, yeah, he still did it though. Yeah, I'm like, you broke your grip.
Ass blaster fucking headbutting him. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not saying that Bull was just in the fucking clear, Kevin. I'm just saying that was an illegal technique.
Dude, I think there was 17 officials watching that fucking match.
And apparently they were like, is that Sly Stallone? No, I don't care.
They're like, we're going to allow it because this is fucking over the top. This is for all the fucking ponies. Fuck one guy at home watching this 30 years later going, bullshit. Fuck him.
Bullshit. Illegal move. They're like, fuck that guy. We know he's out there
someday.
Days where.
Yeah, so that's it. He goes over the top. Happy ending. Grabs Michael. He's like, hey, we fucking did it. Little Adrian moment. They go outside. They got the new whip. And he's like, damn, this is sick as fuck. He's like, fuck yeah. I kept the fucking Hawk. What was it? The hood ornament.
Yeah, the kid wants to call it Son and Hawk. And he's just like, how about Hawk and Son? He's like, yeah, I like it. And I was just like,
well, you should.
It makes fucking sense, you stupid asshole. Yeah, I was like, why would you put the son first? I was like, son and what? Son of a... You know what I'm going to say, you piece of...
Here's the thing.
Come here. I don't want to say it. Your mom's dead. I don't want to say it.
Has been pretty emotionally intelligent. He's been through the ringer. They've never gave him anything stupid to say except for that very end. I was like, what the fuck, movie? This kid does pretty good, and you fucking make him say something real stupid as shit.
A real fucking chump line. It was like, God damn it, chump.
Yeah, that's basically over the top. Like I said.
And then we watch another music video of them driving.
Oh, duh, totally. We're trying to sell a soundtrack here, dude.
Were they? Why would I buy this over-the-top soundtrack? First of all, it's all like shitty, like sappy movie music that I was just like, this is all horrible. There was no bangers. I don't care what you say.
You got bad taste in music, man. You didn't have the nostalgia memory linked with all that stuff to hear it and go, yeah, is it a great song?
Yeah, exactly. I had fresh fucking ears, and I was just like, this is hot trash. Fucking trash.
We'll agree to disagree because you're not even letting me share my opinion. You're being a music Nazi. The movie cost $25 million. It only made 16. It stunk. It went under the table and into the trash. Because everybody was like, what the fuck?
The soundtrack blows.
And I thought to myself, and I was like, man, you know what he should have done? He should have been forced out of his family. I like to keep the same thing with the grandfather forcing him out. He's like, no, I'm a good dad. Don't keep me from my boy. He's like, I'm going to ruin you, Hawk. You're never going to be big rigging in this fucking country again. I run the country. Ha, ha, ha. I'm an old evil dad bastard. And he's like, fuck that. And he was like, well, I got my fucking old Mad Max rig here, and all I'm going to do is haul death and danger. So then he goes to all these underground fucking arm wrestling things, and they're like, oh shit, I heard the Hawkman's coming. I heard he killed a man at fucking Toluca Lake. And he's like, yeah, he did. Just snapped his arm right off. And so the Hawk shows up, and he's all fucking, he's got the beard, and he's got this fucking leather jacket. There's no sleeves and shit. He's got tats all over him. And they're just like, and of course, there's on the back of the leather jacket, it's a fucking big ass Firebird looking hawk and shit. It's got blood splatter on it. And then everybody's in this warehouse, Hawk, 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 Hawk. And he shows up, and this dude's like, I heard you're the fucking Hawk man. He's all fucking 8 towers of fucking man just standing there. And fucking Hawk goes up to him, and he's like, would you put your fucking little lip dick on this fucking thing? Let's do it. Everybody's like, oh shit, Hawkman. Oh shit.
Oh, we just got PG-13. Go.
And then he was like, he puts it up there, and he's like, and then he's just fucking, of course he has the fucking hat on because it's like a trucker hat. It works. And he slides it just to the side. He's like, I don't need to go full tilt with you because you're a bitch. And the dude's like, I'm going to fucking crush you, Hawkman. And then he just fucking breaks this dude's wrist, breaks his fingers back. And everybody's like, Jesus Christ. He's like the fucking arm wrestler. Jesus Christ. The whole place erupts. Hawk's just lavished in fucking pussy and money and shit. And then he just, come on, dude.
Wait, do we even have the sung angle?
Dude, let it breathe, bro. I gotta introduce
right.
you to the world. And it's just like all scary and shit. Like you would go in this warehouse and see these guys, and you would just like shit running down your leg. You'd be so terrified. And then he just gets in the big rig, and he's just like, Hawk out, motherfuckers. And then he goes back, and then he see the picture of the boy inside the big rig, just like in this one. He touches it, and he's like, Michael, I miss you, Billy. I'm gonna prove I'm a man. And so he just goes and he starts just doing all these crazy tournaments. And he's like, hey, Hawk, you heard him. He goes into the diner and he's just like eating like 5 steaks, because he's Hawk and he needs a fucking power up.
He needs the protein.
Sorry, just thinking of this stupid shit. And then
I don't even know what part's making you laugh. The steak thing, or just like
the thought of this. It's so stupid. He's in the diner. He's got like 5 empty plates, like Dragon Ball status and shit. He's just eating. And there's
Kakarot!
Some little orphan kid runs up to him, and he's like, "Oh, Hawk!" I was like, "I heard you're the arm wrestling bastard." And he's like,
"A big rigger through the UK."
Nah, it's just a random like foreign orphan kid. How it's kind of like a dystopian future, but it's not. He's just going to dystopian ass places.
We just call those poor neighborhoods, Kevin.
No, he's not gonna. It's not really like a neighborhood you lock your doors in. It's like a neighborhood you don't stop at any stop signs for. You just go through.
And this is where he goes and get good steak. He's like,
hot.
Not good steak, it's cheap steak.
No, he walks into the diners because the diners are kind of like the networks, right? And he eats for free because he's the fucking Hawkman. And he goes in there and people just challenge him, and he turns down like almost all of them because he only arm wrestles for big money. And then they're kind of just like, he's kind of making it
happening in the 80s, or are we just
duh. This is the same timeline.
Or is this over the top too?
Now the world. This is the real over the top. This is the one they couldn't do. So the little British kid's like, he tells him,
he's like, "Can you be my daddy?"
No, he don't. Fuck that. He kicks the kid away for that stupid dialogue. And he just tells him, and he's like, "I'm here to give you a warning, Hawk Sire." And he just kind of throws down this bounty, and he's like, "All these men are looking for you." And it's just this dossier of all these rogue dudes, and he's like, "Where'd you get this information?" And it's from Cutler. So Cutler's just like, he's like fucking he's trying to save all this money to save his wife because he's got it's like he's got to buy a golden heart for the heart transplant or something.
A normal heart's not good enough for her. It needs to be gold. Because I love her. She's worth it.
Now you're getting it.
So now we've devolved into the Assy McGee version.
Well, no, he's just well, he's still the soft-spoken Hawk. I mean, it's just funnier when you do that because he's just like,
where'd you get this from?
I'm that's only when he's arm wrestling. When he's
like,
normal,
please stop spitting in my face.
Yeah, he's just like, he just does that. He's going through town to town and he's fucking doing all these battles. He's getting more notoriety and like fucking Cutler's like, I don't want you part of any of this life. And he's like, he's just sending these goons out there to beat him. He's like, he can only get him crushed and demoralized when he beats him in arm wrestling because that's all he can do. And that's literally his existence. And he's just like, he's trying to basically save all this money because he's told about this crazy thing. And he does it. There's like, no, my dad's rich. He's going to pay for the surgery. He's like, no, I want to pay for it. I feel so responsible. So he's just driven by all this guilt.
I'll buy the golden heart.
Yeah. And then he finds out later the golden heart's really just a necklace that she wore all the time. It wasn't really her heart. So it's real symbolic and shit. And then he goes to fight this fucking last dude. And the dude's wearing the golden heart. He's like, you son of a bitch, that's mine. And he's like, that heart means everything to me. And the heart is just a fucking family photo inside the locket. Real fucking cliche. And then he's like, well, you're going to have to beat me, you old son of a bitch. And he's like, what? He's like, it's me, Dad. And he's like, it's like, Mikey? Is that my Mikey? And Michael's just fucking super jacked. He can't even put his arms down. They just kind of flop at the side of his body. And his legs are like,
old man's still alive if he's old enough to not know what his son looks like.
Yeah, he's on like a respirator. I've
been hanging on for fucking rage and just spite, really.
Yeah, man. Like it's
die to the son
evil
of a fucking piece
anger?
of shit dies from or loses arm wrestling
his
own son.
Evil and anger is just like that can make him live forever. He's got a real Skeletor vibe going. And so he goes to him and he battles his son. He just like, he goes over the top, of course. And yes,
illegal move coming your way, Michael. He's just like, what? That's illegal. Oh, he totally won with it.
No. It's only illegal if you're a bitch because it's over the top too. Tournament Street Fighter style, and there's no big flashy lights or nothing. And the last boss is his son, but his son's fucking yoked because it's the physical embodiment of his grandfather's hate that he's told him all these years. And he's like, Dad, I thought you left. He's like, I left to bring you a better hope. I tried to get you out of the clutches of that old bastard, but your mom ended up dying.
I was trying to buy her a golden heart.
Yeah, the golden heart is really just not really for her to live. It's just so they can encase all the memories. So you find out that because, like, what are you, crazy? Golden heart's not going to make someone live. He's an arm wrestler, dude. He's not an idiot. But so he does that, and he's like, Dad, he's like, I'm sorry I wasted so many years not being with you. And he's like, it's okay, son. And he's like, what about your grandfather? And he's like, he died. I just watched these psycho videos. I watched him day after day just to remember the hate that I thought I had for you. He's like, that's crazy, son. Why would you do that? He's like, I was brainwashed, father. And he's like, well, now we're together. I got a big rig with your name on it. He's like, you'll have me back as a son? He's like, of course I would. You're my son, Mikey.
And then he says son and hawk.
That's dude. And then it says son and hawk. And then he wears a giant sun logo on the back of his jacket. And he's got a bloody hawk and he's got a bloody sun. And they both drive big rigs and they just go around fucking people up around the country. That's over the top too. I'll change it to the sequel. It fit better. Actually, it's the reboot. Everyone loves a reboot.
Reboot.
Yeah, that's the over the top
reboot I wanted. / second one.
Yeah, I wanted that as a child, and then I didn't get it, but it was still okay.
Instead, you got this heartwarming father-son story.
Yeah, and then of course, like the spiky-haired goon kid, he's one of the arm wrestlers. Everybody you remember from here, they're back, but they're better. Like the waitress is one of the arm wrestlers because the tips weren't cutting it, and she had to fucking like what her thing is she'd arm wrestle you and then like stab you under your armpit and shit and beat you. Real fucking brutal. Yeah, dude. It was over the top.
Yeah, you could arm wrestle me for you, Bill. And they're just like, don't do it, man. She's gonna knife you. Nah, I got her. And then to get knifed. Ah, fuck. She's like, now you gotta pay double. He's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And then she hits the tournament scene too, because the real money's there, not slinging fucking hash and fucking eggs, you know. So that's my over the top. That's what I would do with it. I think it'll be a lot more action. You can make it a comic. I mean, you could even do this and just kind of change the characters' names and have some fun with it. I think it'd be a great comic book, you know, whatever. Probably do like a little 45-minute cartoon. Yeah, whatever you're gonna do, man. It's gonna be fun. And then you can put the heartwarming stuff in there in flashbacks if you want to just pad the runtime. You just want
right, yeah, fine. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because the character needs a little bit more motivation. Why is he this brooding, crazy psycho that's just like fucking people up in the arm wrestling scene? I mean, depending on how lunatic. I mean, I think they're kind of crazy with these over the top characters. No, like sci-fi or monsters or nothing like that. Just kind of like real weird dudes and just just like I said, a cornucopia of fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
The only thing you can trust is the Hawkman.
Well, I'd watch your version, Kevin.
Thanks. I'd watch my version too. This you can kind of do as you please. If you're morbidly curious, check it out. It doesn't. It's really unoffensive. It's just real. It's a real kind of whatever experience.
It's PG, and like you said, it goes by quick. Like I was surprised. I kind of watched it late at night, and I was like, oh, you know, doesn't even feel that late. Feels like this movie probably could have been longer, maybe, and you know, rounded out some more parts. And yeah. You know, I'm gonna say drop like 4 to 8 minutes of music video, and there you go.
Yeah, it's a painless, but it's one of those movies you either you've seen it or you haven't. If you haven't seen it, you're not gonna watch it now. You can watch it on YouTube for free or something, or Amazon or Prime has it, or you've already seen it and you just want to hear what my dumbass was going to say about over the top, and there you go. You got it out of me. Oh, you twisted my arm.
No one twisted your arm, but now at least when you bring it up in the future, I'll say, haven't you done enough?
Yeah, when someone says, "Hey, you fucking turd, why didn't you go over the top with it?" and you'd be like, "Damn, that hurt. I should have went over the top. I am a big pussy."
Just like the name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Like,
and arm wrestling. Like, I think you just want another arm wrestling movie with this name.
No, I think this is good. This is the one. This is in a time capsule. It's a product of its time. You know what I mean? Like I said, you'd have to do something that's crazy, like insane, like my idea to get anyone's attention nowadays, and it would have to be tighter because it's more of a family movie than an arm wrestling movie, I will say. Yeah,
I was surprised how family friendly it was. So if you're just like morbidly curiosity, I would give it a viewing. I mean, I'm not gonna say go out of your way, but if you're just fuck it, like I'll watch it for myself and see what these assholes are talking about. And then you'll be like, Jesus Christ, they told me the entire movie there was not that much to sum up. What the fuck?
Well, they went over the top on this review.
They did.
And I pretty much counted about 65 times he said over the top. These guys are fucking unfunny dickheads. Never listening again.
But we thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Hope you like our new logo that was made by Justin Wood, a very talented artist. You can find him if you want some work done, he does logos, he does comic books primarily, so he does that as well. If you want to reach out to him, you can find him at Lines to the Paper on Instagram and Twitter. So we're going to give him a plug for that. You can find us at Us Versus Movies on Instagram and Twitter. We have those now. You can bother both of us. We're just, both going to look at it and be like, no, you respond. No, you respond. No, you respond. And then, like 2 weeks later, we'll actually say something back to you. Otherwise, Kevin, take us away.
Oh, yeah. If you liked any of this, what we're doing, there's other movies up there. If these last 3 movies have just bored you to tears, there's a little bit of a catalog you can check out as well. But yeah, that's there for your leisurely listening. I'm Kevin. That was Dustin. And we'll see you on the next one.